Guys, in terms of style of play, Cavaliers had 28 isolation plays in Game 3. The Warriors just 13. Forget talent level for a moment. How has that philosophical choice, that style of play, impacted the series?
You know, I'm with Chuck on this thought process right here. I'm not really about the super teams either. However, the brand of basketball Golden State Warriors plays is beautiful to watch. Moving the ball 6, 7, 8 passes, you know, killing you with the long ball at the end. And whenever you play a team that's doing isolation ball, a team that's playing isolation basketball will never beat a talented team that's moving the ball and you got 3 or 4 guys getting involved. It'll never happen.
Well, the problem is, if you go back and look at that game, and we showed a bunch of highlights in the last couple of days, that tires you down because they're playing iso ball, but this is a lot of work here. That's not a lot of work. There's a lot more better plays. Like this right here, that takes a lot of energy.
That's a lot of work.
And that's a tough shot. Look at here. And you have to guard Steph Curry on the other end. And like I say, you're not going to survive making these type of moves. And listen, they're both great one-on-one players. Nobody can take it away. But the amount of energy, I've been a guy who's been a guy like that. Shaq was so dominant, he just knocked the hell out of you and just dunked on you. See, Webb wasn't a guy who just gonna go out and just want to go one-on-one the whole night. He was a hell of a passer,
right,
and things like that. But when you play on a bad team and you have to do, you know, people. I say, first of all, I want to be perfectly clear. I'm not comparing myself to Kevin Durant. The guy's a great player. But I have actually been in his situation when I was on a bad team in Philly, and you have to do every single thing, every single night. You had to get all the points, you had to get all the rebounds, and I wasn't a good defender because I didn't have any energy. Because I had to get every rebound and score every night. And what you're seeing with Kevin Durant now is what I saw when I got to Phoenix. When they gave me Dan Marley, Kevin Johnson, Cez Ceballos, I'm like, wow, I actually get to rest every now and then. He gets to rest. And then when it's time for him, he's full of energy.
Right.
If he had to score from beginning to end like LeBron and Kyrie did,
he'd be tired just like LeBron.
Just like LeBron and Kyrie were.
And having played against both of these guys in the playoffs, and with Chuck, it's easy if you say all 3 guys go box out Chuck. But if you got a guy like Ced that can get 4 or 5 tough rebounds to get it, then it messes up. And when we played the Lakers, the only way we could stay in the game was through style of play, through back cuts, through other things, because they had a great shot blocker in Shaq. So our system was really the only thing that really allowed us, and sometimes, to stay in the game when you don't have as much talent. So when you have a team with this much talent, and Curry doesn't settle for a 3 and he's going to lay it up, and as a defender you don't know if you should check him or if you should go to Durant. Remember the first game, guys were running to the 3-point line, forgetting that Durant could dunk on him. So I think style of play with the players they have, I think that's everything.
But Matt, out of all the teams that gave us problems, Sacramento gave us problems. Not because of the time the players had, because of that ball movement.
Right, they moved
Chris
the ball
was a great passer, White Chocolate, Vlade was a great passer, and that's why they were able to take us to 7 games.
They had skilled players, a lot of backdoor cuts.
Yes.
You had C. Webb operating out of his office there from the elbow.
And but we had to do it because, like, when I'm playing against Chuck, I'm like, he had 54 against us my rookie year, and it's like, what
After
do you do?
Did that commercial.
Yeah, I shouldn't have did it. Yeah, I should have did it. But do you double team Chuck, who you know they changed the rule for Chuck? 5 seconds, because he could post up and bring that double. Do you go, or do you go to the corner and check Marley? And him being so smart, he's going to play with you. And so when you have guys that are superstars like Shaq, Chuck, and others that are willing to pass, willing to play in that system, so tough to beat.
And let me tell you something. The one thing that everybody knows, like the double team or guys helping, 2 or 3 steps is a big deal. 2 or 3 steps is a big deal. And that's what Steph, that's what Clay, and what Kevin gives each of those three guys.
Right.
Because you have to stay attached to them. You have to stay attached to them at all times. So when the other 2 got the ball, they get an extra 3 or 4 steps before the defense can get there, and it results in a layup or a much easier shot going one-on-one.